Hello and welcome to PoE for Dummies Sanctum, an additional mechanic that we can do in Path of Exile to earn ourselves a little bit of currency, earn interesting rewards, have fun, or not have fun. Jokes aside, Sanctum is a very long mechanic, so strap on, we have a lot of work to do. So for Sanctum, you will first encounter it in the Fell Shrine Ruins while you do your campaign. Fell Shrine Ruins is an area Act 7, it's south of Crossroads, and you will see here a Forbidden Sanctum. Once you enter it, Divinia will be inside, you just talk to her, and then you go on your merry way until Act 10, where in the town you will have her quest that she wants you to complete a sanctum. She will tell you to visit it, and then she will give you a green item so that you can start your first sanctum. It's a green book. Now, how do we get these sanctums? In the world, wherever you are, there are these things called forbidden tomes. They can be dropped from any monster in the world, or they can be bought from the trade website from another player. They're very, very cheap. They're not too big of a grind to get. But what do we do with them? You go over here to this zone once you click on the waypoint and go to Forbidden Sanctum, and you click on the Relic Altar. Once you place the book in the Relic Altar, you are presented with a Relic Locker on the left side and in the middle Relic Altar. However, as I have done Sanctum runs before, I have unlocked the Relic Altar, but as a new player, you will have this one locked. It will look something like this. There will be locked items, locked things, locked areas that you need to complete a specific set of things in the sanctum in order to unlock. Those specific set of things are written on the mouse over when you mouse over the lock itself, or you can find them here in PoE wiki page, and it will tell you exactly which row and which column will open when you do some specific things. Now, once you open the sanctum up and you add the relics, more on that in a second, this is how the sanctum looks. You are greeted with a sanctum map, basically a place where you can interact to select a room. These are always around 25 to 30 rooms, between 20 and 30, sometimes a few more plus minus, but they are basically always a constant, and you can use some relics to sneak your way past some. But how does Sanctum look like? Sanctum has 4 floors, and every floor has 8 rooms to get to the boss. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 rooms, 8th one is the boss one. In total, there are 4 bosses of the Sanctum for each floor. Varaketh is the first one, Braum and Uzar is the second one, X something is the third one, and Lycia is the fourth one. They all have their unique mechanics, which I will explain at the end of the video. For now, what you need to know is that every room has a different modifier to it. There are bonuses you can get. There are positive bonuses, which we call boons. There are negative bonuses or negatives, which we call afflictions. And all of these will help in a way or not for you to complete your sanctum run. Now, to go back, you can leave the sanctum at any point in time. Your progress will be saved. To go back to the sanctum and to the altar, and also the relic altar, which is relic locker here, once you open up the relic locker in the sanctum itself, you will get it as hideout decoration, and you can put your relics there. Relics are items that drop from the sanctum itself, or that can be bought from other players, and they give some certain bonuses with certain combinations. As an example, we have this one, which is a long one. Monsters impact reduced resolve and increased maximum resolve. More on those in just a second. Some of these can give you coins, to drop coins to get maximum resolve. Some of these can get you resolve or inspiration once you gain an affliction. And at the end of the Sanctum run, Lycia drops a unique relic, which can be one of the multiple ones that exist. All of those are in the PoE wiki page because there's plenty of them. Now to explain how to go back into Sanctum, you click the relic, you do not click the room, you click enter. You can also end the Sanctum run, you click enter, and it opens the door again, and you enter again. Now, once you start doing the Sanctum, and once you choose, or once you click the device, the Sanctum map thingy, you will be greeted with a gray bar which is called Resolve. What is Resolve? Resolve is basically your resolve to stay in the Sanctum. This acts as a secondary health bar, which for some builds can prove a problem if you take a lot of damage, and for some builds can prove insignificant if you have a lot of mitigation. Now, what would be the mitigation? We have here resolve mitigation from enemy hits and avoid resolve loss. That is a way how you can avoid losing this resolve bar and it forcing you out the Sanctum, because even if your health does not reach zero, if your resolve does, you are out of the Sanctum. If your life reaches zero, yet your resolve is maxed, you are out of the Sanctum because you have died. Now there is resolve mitigation, which is 25% resolve mitigation from enemy hits. Mitigation prevents a portion of resolve loss and scales with your armor. So when you get hit, you lose less resolve. There is evasion, chance to avoid resolve loss from enemy hits. This scales with your evasion rating. And there is also one of these that is called resolve aegis, which is basically preventing as well some sort of resolve loss, but for energy shield. On the left side of this bar, there are these coins called Aureus Coins that you can grab from Templar caches or you can get from defeating monsters. Now, all the monsters that you defeat in a Sanctum are guards. Well, most of the monsters. There are some rare monsters, and you can see here Infernal Sentinel. Those guards deal different damaging abilities, different things. However, I will not explain them here as there's 8 or 10 of them. That would make this way too long. You can just go in and experience them. They never change what abilities they do. They always do the same abilities and they're always looking the same with the same name. You can add certain modifiers to them or you can remove certain modifiers from them when you get different boons and different sets of things. Now, once we go into the Sanctum, and now that we know what is a Sanctum, what rooms there are, bosses, floors, relics, resolve mitigation, now it's about time that we talk about rewards. What can you expect from a Sanctum run? So I will bring this one here, and we are going to go for some simple resolves. We have Aureus Coins that basically is gold. We have, of course, currency items that we can drop from some certain rooms. We have treasure rewards that can drop more Aureus Coins, or we have beneficial rooms that give us different things. Now, when it comes to beneficial rooms, we get boons, and we have detrimental rooms that give us afflictions. Boons are basically minor and major buffs that can help us clean our Sanctum runs, and afflictions are minor or major afflictions that are meant to be there to get us out of the Sanctum run as fast as possible. Now, some of these boons, let's say major boons, we have All Seeing Eye. Sanctum map is fully revealed. We have a lot of these major and minor boons that we can use in a Sanctum, and also as for afflictions, we have a lot of major and minor afflictions that we can be inflicted by. How do you know when you are going to get afflicted by an affliction, or how do you know that you are going to get a boon? The boons are never known. Afflictions are known unless you have an affliction that hides what afflictions you're going to get. So the negative is always avoidable, certain negatives, but the positives are always welcomed. That's how Sanctum works. Now, we also have one additional thing that ties the resolve and mitigation loss and afflictions, which is called inspiration. Inspiration is another way how we have, it's like a shield that shields our resolve lost and it gets depleted. There are mechanics on those relics that give you inspiration whenever you gain an affliction, and those are usually very good relics because you can cleanse the afflictions and you will still have that inspiration on you. So inspiration, count it as an extra shield. It helps mitigate the resolve loss, and it all goes through it, unless there are modifiers that go straight through inspiration and they hit directly your resolve. Now, for those ways how we can spend the coins, we have a merchant. Merchant rooms contain Sister Divinia. She sells boons or relics in exchange for Aureus coins. She also always recovers 50 resolve if you have the money to pay, so that is the one that can never be removed. But then, if we lose resolve, she has one way to recover via coins. How are other ways that we can add more resolve, we can restore the resolve? Those are called fountains. We have 4 different types of fountains. One is the regular, which recovers 25% of maximum resolve for 5 golden coins. We have benevolent, which does not recover resolve but gives us a random boon for 150 coins. We have afflicted fountains, which give us 50% of maximum resolve recovered, but they give us a minor affliction, and it's 5 coins fee. And we have a radiant fountain, which is the rainbow fountain, which gives us a random boon, removes a random affliction, and gives us 200 inspiration for 5 coins. Those are very rare to find, but once you do, rejoice, that one is very good. Now, how can we also gain afflictions other than having a room that gives us an affliction? There are these things called Accursed Pacts. They give us a negative and a positive, and they give us a reward for choosing a pact. Accursed Pact rooms allow you to accept any of the 3 random Accursed Pacts, which grant an upside and a downside, and then they give us an item reward. So you can read here how many there are. There are way too many upsides and downsides to these, so you can feel free to read. But then what was the reward, or what is the reward? The reward is like this. It looks like this. When players are offered rewards, they have 3 options: receive 1 of the item, receive 2 of the item, or receive 3 of the item. Now, this one means receive the item now. That's the first one, the top one. The middle one, receive this item or these items at the end of the floor, or the third one, receive these items once you complete the Sanctum. Those are usually the most lucrative ones. Now, in the first 2 floors, you cannot get anything higher than Chaos Orbs or sometimes Exalted Orbs. In the 3rd floor, you can get a Divine Orb from these. And in the 4th floor, you can get multiple Divine Orbs or a Mirror of Kalandra. Those are extremely rare, but they can drop. Sacred Orb also becomes available on floor 3 and 4. Mirror of Kalandra is so rare on floor 3 that we basically don't even count it. These can drop from a regular item reward room or from a deal room, which is basically Accursed Pact room. Now that we know what kind of rewards and detriments we can expect, let's talk about rooms themselves. There are different kinds of rooms for the Sanctum. However, the only thing that changes from the floors is their name, not the type. In the type, there are different mini variations, but if a room says contains traps, it always contains traps on floor 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, for these, we have, on floor 1, we have defeat all the guards, which is a linear path, defeat all the guards in an arena, which is like a battleground, find the exit in one of the 4 corners, find the exit linear, which is just a straight path, and the last we have defeat the boss, the mini bosses. These mini bosses, these rooms are based on map bosses that you will see in Crimson Township. So that's the first one. You have to defeat his guards before defeating him. There are runes on the ground. A reliquary for Greater Wraith, that's Restless Shade, which is a chaos one. It charges and then explodes into chaos, drops coffins as well. That's the second one, so be careful with that one. Sanctum Bellum is Purifier if you've defeated the Elder Guardian map, so Purifier is there, and Mausoleum is one of the bosses that summons big rock. There's an AoE on the ground, it drops the rock, or it can shoot you with rocks as well, so just move in a circle and you can deal with him easily. Now, when it comes to these rooms and the cheat sheet, the cheat sheet does exist. So this is the Sanctum cheat sheet, and this is basically a constant now. It doesn't change. As I said, defeat all the guards, arena, exit, traps, miniboss. Now here's what is the problem with the arena, because I need to mention this one. That is, we have 1 central skull, walls, and 2 lasers. 1 central skull, no walls, lasers, donut, and meteors, no walls. 2 skulls, dividing walls, 4 lasers, dividing walls, and meteors, infinite arena, and desecrated crypt, 1 skull, 90-degree arc, 4 lasers, and meteors. Those are the different types. Skull is basically the same from Ultimatum. It's a skull that follows you around and starts firing a laser, and then you have to avoid it. The lasers, regular ones, are lanterns that toss a laser that slowly moves towards you. Meteors are basically arrows that drop on the ground, and then after a certain amount of time, there are some meteors that drop. And that covers all. And if there's a central skull, it's just the central skull that goes around. That's basically it. Those are the most difficult rooms. If you can avoid them, please do avoid them. Now, when it comes to boss rooms, the big boss rooms are, I will show here yet another guide that is there from VHPG. The boss rooms, we have Varaketh, Braum and Uzar, Xanathar, Lycia, and that's basically it. Lycia has 2 forms. Now for Varakath, he has a flamethrower attack in front of him, and he has a big swing. You are generally safe if you stand behind him. Braum and Uzar are slow-moving statues that use slams. Braum uses multi-directional glacial cascade and repeated sunders while walking, and Uzar can create homing blood orb, which basically follows you, and then he enrages and then he drops it and does AoE damage as well. These two, once one dies, the other one gets full health, gets enraged. It's not too difficult, just do not panic and try to run to the corners of their room. When it comes to Xanathar, she is Vorana, basically last to fall, but uses bouncing lasers. Now, when she starts the encounter, she will do a clean dash towards you, which deals damage. Then she will do a charge attack that's like a 75 to 90-degree cone that has a certain length to it, and then she will start dropping either lasers in zigzag pattern all over the room, or she will start dropping lasers from the ceiling that will follow you. She is not that difficult, but she repeats these mechanics quite often, so be careful with her as well. And at the end, we have Lycia, who has two phases, technically three. First phase, once you enter the room, behind you and behind her, there will be blood. Don't stand in it, it hurts. She will start with a sort of a sword swing and dash towards you, so you just need to avoid that one. Stand behind her, and then she does a circular sweep attack and rotating red beam. She will basically have a voice line, something about Baydat, and nobody can escape Baydat's gaze, and she does a laser, like lightning laser, that goes and follows the player. You can stand behind walls to avoid it, or you can dash behind her. However, that room rotates the blood around it, so it moves after and moves before, so it will always prompt you to move forward. Once she drops to around 25 to 30% health, or 50% health, between 25 and 50% health, depending on your damage, because you can knock her down lower, cannot knock her down under 25%. She will leave the area, and you will have to navigate through some traps until you reach a sort of circular area with her, and she will do the same mechanics without the blood on the ground, of course, but she will do a dash. She will do like a swing, circular swing. She is also going to do Baydat's gaze. And one additional thing that she does when she does nobody can escape Baydat's gaze, at the end of it, she's going to toss a laser right in front of her. The way how to dodge that, same as in the first part, is either go behind her or go behind something. However, in the second phase, there's nothing to go behind of. You have to go behind her. Once you kill her there, she will transform into a four-winged creature, and she will drop into the beyond, and you will be greeted with a very big area that she will be inside. So she will drop in with her wings into the beyond, and you will be greeted with this bigger area. Now that she has wings and things, she is going to do different mechanics. She is going to toss these spears that spin around. She is also going to, let's see that one again. She's also going to do a completely linear ability, which is basically you will know pain, and there's a linear ability. It's going to follow you. It deals massive damage, massive resolve loss as well. And after she ends her cast, she's going to just do a stronger wind. That's two mechanics. Now I killed her too fast there. She also has an immunity phase where she flies up and tosses orange circles that go outward from her to the end of arena that you need to avoid and dodge. You can teleport, like flame, flame dash and Frostblink. You can teleport from there, you can easily walk away, but that's basically what she does. Now, when it comes to all the boss mechanics, those are it. And now for one of the more important things, what builds can do Sanctum. Sanctum can be done by any build, usually not melee, any ranged build that can either one-shot everything inside, which is a build with around 10 to 15 million damage. That's number one. Number two, it can be done with minions, as minions do not suffer from resolve loss. It can be done with totem builds, as totems do not suffer resolve loss, and totems can also, as well as minions, block the certain fire traps. And you can also do it with melee builds, but I'm leaving those for last because those are the most troublesome to do Sanctum with. So in just quick retrospect, there will be timestamps in the description below. I will also put timestamps. Well, those will be in the video as well. But just a quick retrospect. Sanctum is a long mechanic which has a lot of parts to it. It has relics, rooms, floors, resolve, how to defend against resolve or resolve loss, how to regen resolve, different room layouts, different room rewards. We have different fountains, different treasure chests. There's minor and major, merchant, of course, some pacts, boss rooms, and special enemies. Now, after you finish the Sanctum, which I haven't mentioned, after killing Lycia, Lycia will always drop a unique relic. Those unique relics can vary, but those will change your next Sanctum run. You can, of course, use it, or you can sell it. But that should be it for beginners for Sanctum. I'm sorry it has been an extremely long video, but this is one of the longest mechanics in the game, and the only way how you can properly learn it is by playing it. It's a very difficult thing for beginners to do, so I suggest take your tomes, sell your tomes, but otherwise you can engage with the mechanic as it is always profitable to do so. For 25 minutes you can get 1 to 2 divines out of it, which is an extremely extremely good profit, but otherwise for beginners I wouldn't recommend them unless you really want to get into it. So that will be it for this video. If you've liked the video, please do give it a like, give it sub as well if you don't mind. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or if you want to add something that I've missed, feel free to post it down in the comment below. I will link both websites as they have done a pretty great job of explaining Sanctum and the mechanics of how it is done. But that will be it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.